creating the turnover. Joseph quickly ahead to DeRozan, step through.
The NBA has managed to bounce back from the impact of Rudy Gobert, or the global health situation I mean, with a highly successful bubble that kept the players and staff safe. But the 2020 finals might go down in history as the most boring season ever, without the fans doing their thing in the stands. Unsurprisingly, there isn't much excitement and drama surrounding the NBA in 2021, which is a shame because if fans could be allowed back in the stadiums, the 2021 season might actually be one of the best seasons in recent history. Want to know why? Well, here's a sneak peek at what the NBA will look like in 2021 after the draft. But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Number 1, we're looking at a shortened season. The 2020 draft was supposed to be held on June 25th, and then it was moved to October 16th. But again, that was postponed for November 18th. In light of these delays, the league's decision makers have discussed the possibility of condensing the 2020 offseason and in effect shortening the 2021 season to 72 games, in an effort to return the league's calendar to its typical cycle. No dates have been locked in just yet, but we all know the NBA will do everything to complete its season before the Tokyo Olympics, which are slated to open in July 2021. This puts a major asterisk as to when the 2021 draft will take place, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. First and foremost, for the 2020 draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves have the first pick. Most analysts believe they will probably trade the pick away, but nevertheless, we're still looking at LaMelo Ball as the first overall pick, although there are reports that negotiations with top teams are actually not going so well. Still, he has the greatest potential in that draft class, just like how Cade Cunningham separates himself from the rest of the 2021 draft class with his special passing and impressive smarts for a 215-pound, 6'7" point guard. As early as now, he is being compared to Luka Doncic, so it's going to be a very exciting year for whichever team ends up landing this kid. Now let's talk about what the team's compositions might look like coming into the new year, with some big guns going into free agency. Number 2, Anthony Davis as the golden goose of the free agency period. All signs point to AD staying with the Lakers, but we can never be too sure. Rumors started flaring up when it was reported that Davis recently turned down a 4-year offer from Los Angeles worth $146 million, but he simply might be gunning for the 5-year, $200 million deal he can get once free agency begins. Alternatively, he can potentially opt for a shorter deal that lines with the end of LeBron's contract with the Lakers, because what's the point in staying after that? In any case, it looks like the Lakers can still rely on the brow for the 2021 season. Number 3, Montrezl Harrell will don different colors. Looking at the Clippers, we're almost certain that Harrell is headed out the door. He's currently the 7th high-paid Clipper, but staying with LAC might mean he might have to take a major pay cut. The 6'7" workhorse will likely be too expensive for the Clippers to keep, evidenced by their explicit willingness to try to trade him last deadline. Unfortunately, the same goes for Marcus Morris, because it would be impossible to match his last $15 million paycheck. So although we know that the Clippers will still be a contending team in 2021, we might see a whole lot of new faces on that team. Number 4, Andre Drummond to the Celtics. Drummond has been quite the revelation by leading the rebounding column for 3 straight seasons. This makes him one of the most coveted big men in this free agency period. Despite his glaring limitations in terms of offense, he's still a pretty capable double-double on any night. Somehow, he doesn't look that much at home with the Cavs, and it's no big secret that he has no shortage of suitors, with the Celtics suiting up as his likely destination. On the other hand, Drummond can also get the easy money by opting into his $25 million contract with Cleveland. Number 5, the million-dollar question: will Giannis Antetokounmpo seriously leave the Bucks? Well, may it be this offseason via trade or in the 2021 offseason via free agency, there are a lot of rumors circulating about Giannis's future in Milwaukee after 2 consecutive years of playoff heartbreak. And all eyes are on the Golden State Warriors to take this MVP in and back to greatness. The Dubs lucked out with the number 2 pick in the 2020 draft, and the rumors have been swirling since we knew about this. But we are expecting the Bucks to put up a good fight to keep Giannis with the team. They might have their work cut out for them to convince the Greek Freak that Milwaukee is still rightfully his home. Number 6 is Bradley Beal headed to the Warriors? For months now, there have been a lot of speculations that Golden State might be pursuing a blockbuster trade for Bradley Beal. After all, the Warriors definitely expect to contend for the NBA title next season and beyond, and acquiring a player of Beal's caliber would help put them in the position to do just that. Other contenders to land the superstar include the Brooklyn Nets, but the most feasible expectation is still that the Washington Wizards have not made the two-time All-Star available because they want to see him play with John Wall, who is, of course, returning for the 2021 season. Well, here's a conspiracy theory, though. Perhaps the Wizards just want everyone to think that's the case so they can drive up the asking price. I guess we won't know until the contract has been signed, right? Number 7, DeMar DeRozan and his player option. It has been a long time since DeRozan's superstar days in Toronto, and it certainly doesn't feel like the Spurs have any intention to re-sign him in 2021. And DeMar has a $28 million player option at the moment. DeMar's skills and playing style may be outdated for most new players, but he still racks up the numbers. So for now, he's likely to delay free agency for a year for the opportunity to get a bigger deal in 2021. But still, we can't entirely rule out a trade involving the former USC star. Number 8, Chris Paul might be joining the Celtics. CP3 was highly successful with the Thunder this season. He played in a so-so team, but he was able to prove his worth as an all-star. There is an opportunity for the Boston Celtics to pull off a trade, but there are several teams interested in Chris Paul's service, especially those who are keen on contending for a title. But how perfect would OKC be to receive Kemba Walker, who the Celtics might be thinking of moving in the offseason, in exchange for CP3? We all know Danny Ainge is no stranger to big-time deals, so we know this one can be done. Number 9, Eric Bledsoe is likely headed to OKC and meet Dennis Schroeder in the process. Bledsoe gets a bad rep because of his playoff troubles, but fundamentally, he is still a pretty solid NBA player. This has not stopped the Bucks from floating his name out there, though. The Raptors may want Bledsoe, but the Thunder might be the strong contender. In exchange, Milwaukee could be looking at signing Dennis Schroeder, a guy that could help them convince Giannis to stay. Well, this might be a hard sell, but one that makes a lot of sense altogether. Number 10, Danilo Gallinari is one of the most intriguing free agents. It would be interesting to see where Gallinari ends up for the 2021 season. The 32-year-old Italian forward played his heart out for OKC, so no doubt that he'll receive multiple offers once the season concludes. Definitely a guy to watch out for in the next year. Number 11, Victor Oladipo might be headed to his dream team. The Indiana Pacers are not expected to hold on to Oladipo, and a new report indicates that his first choice for a new home would be the Miami Heat. But unsurprisingly, Oladipo is being cautious because Victor has yet to return to an all-star form since suffering a major injury in January 2019. Oladipo's recovery from a ruptured quadriceps tendon took an entire year, so his return resulted in some inconsistent performances. Heat legend Dwayne Wade may have raved about Oladipo in the past, but one's got to ask, does Wade still have enough influence over the Heat organization to make this happen? Well, now it's time to look at the superstars finally making a return to the 2021 season, a lot more interesting than the last. Number 12, Thompson and Looney are set to return. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr has confirmed that Klay Thompson and Kevon Looney have been making steady progress from their respective injuries, and with Stephen Curry also fully recovered, the Warriors are slated to come back with a bang next year. Anyways, that wraps up this video. Thanks for watching.